thing about that fucking movie. I'm just telling you the truth. He knows it's a slasher. It says sorority, so he thinks Slumber Party Massacre or Sorority House Massacre, any of those. House on Sorority Row is Vic's number 4. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm surprised he has it over, like, Psycho 2, but so be it. Vic has House on Sorority Row at number 4. The fan vote didn't really do any favors for House on Sorority Row, just for the record. They weren't too impressed. It was all about Stephen King in 1983. All about him. So you are up with your number 4, right?
Yes, I'm up with my number 4. My number 4 was tough because originally I had this movie at number 5, but I'm glad I changed it, even though it was a last minute change because I didn't want to be
Psycho
like Vic.
2?
Yep, Psycho 2 is number 4.
Psycho. Do you remember Married with Children, Psycho Dad?
Not off the top of my head, but I watched that show religiously, so I'm sure that I saw it.
That was a show that Al Bundy always watched. And so when I hear, like, any of the Psycho sequels, I think of Psycho Dad. I kind of feel that way myself sometimes. But Psycho 2, the Bates Motel is open for business. You get him at number 4 for Blake. Vic has it at number 5. I have not listed Psycho 2 yet. We'll see if I do, which I kind of hinted that I would earlier. All right, man. I guess that means that I need to get into number 3 now for... Wait, I haven't given my number 4. God,
you haven't given your number 4.
All right, man. This is another one. I hate to piss some people off. I actually expected Vic to have this... well, no, excuse me. You had it at number 5, so that's not bad. I like it. I think it's a little overrated, too, just because of the Stephen King connection. The movie itself's fine. John Carpenter fucking directed it. Christine is my number 4. Good movie. It's not very satisfying. I can't explain it. It has its moments. Just doesn't get where I want it to be. It's good. It's not the best. Not even in my top 5 Stephen King movies. So, Christine gets a 4 for 1983. Not a bad movie by any means. Just not my top 3. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how to describe it exactly. I can't put my finger on it. It's just not something, if it comes on, that I absolutely have to watch. But I would watch it. Don't get me wrong. But so that's a good transition now to Vic's number 3, which is, of course, Christine. And honestly, I expected Vic to have Christine higher. He fucking loves Christine. So whatever 2 movies he has above Christine, he must also love. Again, I really expected Vic to have Christine so much higher. So Vic with Christine at number 3.
Wow.
So you've got Christine
else, huh?
we went 3, 4, and 5 with Christine. Why did you not have Christine higher, and not just because you like the other movies better? What is it about Christine that kind of kept it from being higher?
The gore factor. I kind of like my 1980s to be full of cheesy gore, over-the-top effects, and gratuitous nudity. And
oh, hell yeah.
It didn't really have any of those. Though I did like the guy that owned the junkyard. He's like, don't think too hard about it, or I'll put you out of your fucking ass. That just, that guy was great. I love him.
You get Ted from Friday the 13th Part 2 in it.
Yeah. Doesn't he get fucked up in this movie, too, though?
Yeah, but he
doesn't get fucked up in Friday the 13th Part 2. He stays out drinking all night long.
Yeah. Apparently it's because he's not good at doing death scenes. That's my guess, anyway. See,
really?
Drinking saves lives.
What the fuck?
Proof right there. But yeah, okay. So I think we're kind of on the same page with Christine. There's just something missing about it. I don't know what. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something just not there. All right. Let's see here. So Vic had Christine at number 3. You had it at 5. I had it at 4. And now that leaves you at number 3 now.
Is it Vic at 3, buddy?
Yep, Vic had it at 3.
No, I'm saying, is it Vic's turn to do number 3? I thought we were...
No. Vic had Christine at number 3, which would mean you're up next at number 3.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure that moving everything up a number kind of fucked things up a little bit, but, as far as keeping track of where we were. But that's okay.
It's my own fucking fault.
That's okay. My number 3 is one I haven't seen in many years, but I did see several of the sequels, and I really like this. My number 3 is Sleepaway Camp.
Number 3 for Blake, Sleepaway Camp. Blake, I'm starting to get the idea of what the movie is that you haven't seen, and it's going to make me sad a little bit. We'll see, though.
I will. Can I post-script this? My wife told me exactly what happens, but I do remember seeing bits and pieces of it, and I did watch the actual show, which is kind of like in between. So I get the idea. I still count a little,
I can tell you that it's not on Vic's list. So.
Well, that's okay. Well, it's not on my. I didn't want to do it unfairly and say that I had seen it and put it lower when it didn't deserve to be lower, or put it higher when I hadn't seen it.
This is just a guess, okay? So you've got Sleepaway Camp at number 3. My number 3 is The Dead Zone. Is that your number 3?
Was that my number 3?
The fuck am I talking about? Is that not?
Is that the one that I haven't seen? Yes.
Right.
The Dead Zone is the one I haven't seen. I saw the show.
Can I make a suggestion to you?
Sure.
Download the Tubi app, Tubi. It's on there for free right now.
It's on Shudder, too, for free, and on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Please watch it. Report back to me. I know. I just want you to. I just want to get your opinion on it. Christopher Walken's really good in it, and it is my highest Stephen King movie of 1983. Christine and Cujo get the most hype, but The Dead Zone has the most emotion to it, and it's a better story than both of those.
My
Christine
wife
and
is
Cujo
in your she thinks it's one of the best. She loves it. So.
Christine and Cujo is all about gimmicks, just like Pennywise. You know what I mean? About a clown. These are about a car and a dog. And The Dead Zone, it's not any of those things. It's just about a cool fucking story, and I really like it. Speaking of stories, a little break from our list real quick. A trailer has just come out for Castle Rock, which is going to be on Hulu on July 25th. So everybody's going to need to get prepared for that, because Castle Rock ties into all the Stephen King universe. It ties into Pennywise, because and not only does it tie into Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård is playing the main character in this, who is in Shawshank Prison. And there's also a newspaper article about Cujo in it. So Castle Rock's going to be a fucking sweet show on Hulu. If it's anything like, 11/22/63, it's going to be pretty badass. Have you seen it yet?
What?
Castle Rock, the preview for it?
Yes, I have. Yeah, and it's going to be good.
Basic is in it from Carrie.
Yeah, which is great because it was Stephen King stuff, and it's got people that were in the actual film. It's perfect. Beautiful.
I've always thought, okay, so there's a podcast, and let me just throw out a cheap plug, the Twilight Zone podcast. It's a British guy who does it. His name's Tom Elliott. Awesome fucking podcast. And he's always kind of theorizing that the Twilight Zone is actually connected instead of its own little episodes, like it's its own universe, kind of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe type thing, where everything is actually connected. They just tell it in a different way, and Rod Serling's sort of like a celestial being in this universe. But the point is, I like to think that with the Stephen King movies and books too, is that they're all connected as well, in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you.
So I gave my number 3. That means we're on to number 2. And this is the fucking, I guess, heavy hitters for 1983. And, again, maybe not the best of years. Maybe some of these will be lower in other years. But Vic has Cujo at number 2. So Vic did not have The Dead Zone in his top 10. You didn't because you haven't seen it. And if I had to bet money, he has not seen The Dead Zone either. Serious, though. Make your wife harass you into watching it. But so no Dead Zone. Cujo is his number 2. I don't know, man. Cujo's a good fucking movie. I just feel like it's lacking something, just like Christine is. Again, for me, it's a one-trick pony, but it's still good. Absolutely still good. So I guess that gives you carte blanche on number 2 as well.
My number 2 is not one that either one of you guys have probably seen. There's a reason that I picked it, and it's not just because the effects are good and it's more towards that 1980s kind of vibe that I like, but it's also because the title of the film, the place in question, was actually used in the first Nightmare on Elm Street as an exterior shot for when Nancy is at Rod Lane's funeral, and she's sitting on the steps of this building. And the film I'm talking about is called Mortuary.
Mortuary. All right.
Yeah.
I don't recall seeing it. If I did, it's on, VHS or app.
Bill Paxton, one of his earliest ones.
Bill Paxton was a fucking man. I just have to say.
Yeah, he was. May he rest in peace.
Hell yeah. We make a lot of jokes on this show, but that dude, creatively even, like Frailty, good fucking movie.
Oh, he fucked me. It fucked me up when he died, dude. Like, I was almost in tears. Like,
Me too, man.
The same way I felt when Wes Craven died.
Don't get me wrong. See, the difference between Bill Paxton and even Wes Craven or Betsy Palmer, let's say, is that they were old. Bill Paxton didn't feel old. I know he was pretty old, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And Wes hadn't done anything in a while since Scream 4, really. So, I don't know.
Well, he was an executive producer on this other movie. One of his last films was called The Girl in the Photograph.
Yeah, but the executive producer is a weird thing, Like, how much do they actually do? They chip some money, probably, put their name on it. I'm just saying creatively, he wasn't doing that much at the end. But Bill Paxton, it felt like he was working towards the end, but maybe I'm wrong. That dude was in fucking everything. He got killed by the Predator, he got killed by Terminator, and he got killed by aliens. He was badass.
He got killed by the Clanton boys too in Tombstone. He's all time great. And he got killed in Big Love, And
he was in True Lies, just for the fuck of it. Let me just throw that out there.
Yeah. And my wife and I she had watched Frailty for the first time with me. I had seen bits and pieces of it, but we watched it. That twist, you never fucking see it coming, and I have to plug my pal Robert Englund. It is one of his favorite films.
I had to double take it to understand what the fuck happened. McConaughey was the man in that movie too.
Fucking right.
Good fucking movie.
Oh,
Frailty is an underrated classic in my mind. I saw it at the theater too, I think. I can't remember who. Probably some ex-girlfriend. That's generally how it went. Anymore, I fucking watch just about everything by myself, except Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I'll get to, and the first Purge, which I'll also get to. Okay, so my number 2, because I've been talking it up, I've been saying nice things about it, and now it's time to pull the trigger. Psycho 2. Psycho 2, for me, if we were to do some of the best sequels of all time, it's not as good as Friday the 13th Part 2. It's not as good as Halloween 2. It's better than Scream 2. Better than Child's Play 2. Better than Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Sorry,
that sounds like Vic back there.
Hey, Victor.
What'd it do?
Vic, have you ever seen The Dead Zone?
I have not.
Blake has not either. Can I just make a suggestion to you?
What's that?
Download the Tubi app, Tubi. It's on Tubi right now. Watch it. Tell me what you think of it, okay?
It's on Fire Stick, too. I just didn't get around to it.
Now, I've got it at number 3 on my list, is what I was saying earlier, and it's actually, I like it better than Christine, and I like it better than Cujo. And this is what I was saying about Christine and Cujo.
It's not better than
Those movies, you can't say anything until you watch it, okay? You can give me shit after you watch it. Christine and Cujo feel like gimmick movies. I like them both, but I feel like they're, it's based on a car and a dog. I like them both. They're good. I've got them at 4 and 5 on my list, but I like The Dead Zone better.
I hear you.
Just trust me on this. I feel like it's a better story. That's all I'm saying. Those movies have cool shit in them, but I think The Dead Zone's a better story. Christopher Walken's in it, for Christ's sake. And Martin Sheen.
I hear you,
and Tom Skerritt. Tom Skerritt from fucking Alien. Okay, anyway. Psycho 2 is my number 2. Vic, you had it at number 5. Blake had it at number 4. And I have it at number 2. Psycho 2 is one of the best Part 2s of all time. There are some others that I can put above it. Hatchet 2, maybe Aliens, I guess. Halloween 2, Friday the 13th Part 2. But as a whole, it's better than most sequels. And fucking Psycho 2, after 23 years to put on the type of movie they did, good shit, man. And Part 3 and Part 4 are good also. So good job, Psycho franchise, doing a good job on a movie that was impossible to top. You know what I'm saying?
True.